It was actually in junior high when I had my first drink of alcohol. I didn't get drunk or anything. I just took a sip, like just to be down. I did give into peer pressure, but yeah, that's basically what it was.
I was 14 when I had my first drink, and I got it from my best friend. We raided my best friend's dad's liquor cabinet.
I was 21 years old when I had my first drink, honestly, I swear. I was in Nashville, Tennessee in college, and I was actually at a gay bar with some drag queens that pulled me up on stage and pulled the glass of water out of my hand and told me to take a shot of Patron, bitch. So I had to take a shot of Patron, and it was disgusting. I didn't know what to do.
I've lost so many friends through drinking. Drinking too much. The drinking always led to drugs. There were car accidents. Of my age group, I'm the only one left. Everyone else is gone. And alcohol had an effect on losing so many friends of mine. It's true.
I think being harmed by someone else's drinking is more like my parents separating and going through that was pretty terrible. It was not a good situation for like a good 2 years because they both drank. And then trying to be in relationships now, like when you have somebody that drinks and then you drink, and it's just now it's hard to be in a relationship and trust people because if they say things when they're drunk, they're going to kind of mean it when they're not drunk. So it's very hard to like be in a relationship, especially with somebody who drinks.
I've never really been harmed by someone else's drinking, but I know, when you're young, you just have your friends, and there's been situations where like one of my friends has gotten too drunk, and we'd have to take care of them, something like that. But it's never harmed me, but like it always put me in a situation where it presents a problem where it's like, okay, now I have to make sure that this person
A few months ago, one of my friends, we were at a party, and he was really, really drunk. We had to get him to the bus stop for him to go home, and he wasn't budging from the corner that we needed to get him from, so he could get to the bus stop. And the bus was coming, and so I was trying to like encourage him to get to the bus stop. And then at one point, he actually grabbed me and pushed me on the car. And I was like, I need to get myself away from the situation because he was too drunk. He was far too gone.
When I was younger, my mom, I guess this was when I was like 11 years old, she was drunk, and I guess she didn't know what she was doing. I was trying to help her to her room, whatever, and then like, there was a knife on the counter, and she just took it and pointed at me. She was like, leave me alone, I'll stab you. But the next morning I told her, and she apologized and didn't know what she was doing, and after that she hasn't consumed any alcohol until I got older.
I definitely believe that the LGBT community does drink more than the straight community, especially in our youth, for all the other struggles we have to go through, like being accepted at home and being accepted in school and other things we do in life. And so I feel like that we should have more LGBT advocates that talk about alcoholism and drinking.
Sometimes I believe that LGBTQ people do drink more than our straight counterparts because a lot of people go through a lot of things, and I feel like some LGBT people use drinking as a coping mechanism to so they don't have to feel the emotions they feel when they're sober, because a lot of people go through different things and some things are more traumatic than others.
I definitely think that the gay community drinks more than the straight community. The gay community has a lot of burden on them. They've been condemned, they feel condemned, they feel society's against them, their church is against them, their parents are against them. I know kids that were thrown out of their houses because when they told their parents they were gay. And you don't feel you have your parents' support, the community, and a drink solves everything, you think.
Alcohol affects my sexual health, as when I'm drunk, I'm usually more on like Grindr or something, looking for somebody and trying to find somebody maybe to come over that night. And it's not really, when you're drunk, it's like I'm not looking for a relationship. I'm looking for somebody to have sex with that night. And I mean, if it doesn't happen, you wake up the next morning like, oh, why did I do that? Why did I contact this person? Why did I talk to them? But at that moment, if they say they'll come over, that might be just what happens.
Alcohol use has really allowed me to make poor choices when it comes to having sexual relationships. When I was 18, I snuck into my first gay bar. I was drinking, and I ended up going home with someone who was a little bit older than me. And ended up getting a case of the crabs from this person.
The advice I would give somebody about drinking and sexual acts is don't do both of them together.
A lot of us now, like, since like we're young and we're going out and we're having fun, like we're targets.
If you are lucky enough to be in a relationship and you have a consistent partner, it's great to plan ahead of time, like, while we're sober, let's have sex now, compared to when we're drunk and we don't know if we're using a condom or correct barriers at that time.
I would warn anybody who's drinking to be careful, to cut down on it, because you make unwise decisions. You think you're Superman. Nothing's going to happen to you. All these diseases they talk about, somehow when you're drinking, they don't matter. It's not going to happen to you, and unfortunately, it happens to too many.
Just keep a condom in your pocket. Keep your ID and your condom in your pocket at all times. One, you don't ever want to be John Doe.
Separate the two. Don't mix drinking and sexual health.
There's too much opportunity to get in trouble, and it just takes one slip. That's all I had was one slip, and I wound up with HIV. What else can I say?
So we have come a long way. Not like in the 1960s when it was a cigarette advertisement and we gave people permission to smoke, but we've come a long way in that we know that we do not have to use alcohol as a means to meet people all the time or to smother our feelings and our emotions. And alcohol has its role in our social life, but no longer do we have to use it in the ways that we might have in the past. We have come a long way, and we are in a better place.